Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. In today's video, we are going to be talking about dry leaves on succulents. A lot of people tend to get very panicked, and I do get a lot of messages wherein people say that one of the leaf or two of the leaves are turning brown in color, they are drying. Is my succulent in trouble? Now guys, you do not need to be worried because there are a couple of factors why this can happen. One and the most important thing, when you tend to recently purchase a succulent, when the succulent is getting acclimated or adjusted in your new environment, when it is trying to settle in, the low leaves, probably 1, 2 or maybe 3 depending upon the size of the succulent, the leaves will turn yellow and eventually will dry out. This is the process wherein the succulent is trying to absorb nutrients or water from the lower leaves rather than taking the water from the roots, because initially we do not water. It's better not to water initially, but later on you can do that. So in the initial stage, when the succulent is getting acclimated in the new environment, it will start to dry up a couple of the lower leaves. That is a very normal process. Second factor could be related with environment. Probably you are from a very dry environment, or probably the environment is quite warm or very hot. Probably that could also be one of the reason. The last reason could be that is from your end, and that is dehydration. That is probably you are underwatering your succulent excessively, due to which the succulent starts absorbing water from the lower leaves because it feels there is not much water in the soil, so it starts absorbing water from the lower leaves, due to which the lower leaves will start to turn brown and crisp. This is nothing related with overwatering. Remember, in overwatering, the succulent leaves will not be crisp. They are going to be more mushy. They are going to be transparent, but they will never be crisp like this. They are not going to be dry like this. In an overwatering situation, the leaves will be soft, mushy and transparent. So you need to kind of differentiate between both of these, whether it's an underwatered succulent or whether it's an overwatered succulent. Now what I'm going to do is I will take out one of the dry leaf and I'm going to show you how crisp the leaf is. So as you heard that, it was very crisp because the succulent has absorbed all of the water from those leaves as well as the nutrients. Now the reason behind this with my succulent is because when I purchased this succulent itself, it was not doing quite well. The leaves were very uneven. Some of the leaves were bending downwards, some of the leaves were upwards. Probably the succulent did not get a good amount of light. Overall, the health of the succulent was not doing quite well. So what did I do next? I left the succulent on its own. I watered after a week or so, and then I did not move the succulent at all from where it was placed. Slowly and steadily, all of the lower leaves, as you can see in the video, started to turn dry and brown. But overall, you can see my succulent has started to do quite well. You can see there are no wrinkles present on the succulent. It is well hydrated, but even then there are dry leaves because this was the process of the succulent getting acclimated in my environment. In my case, it was not related with dehydration because as you can see, all of the leaves are well hydrated, the ones that are staying on the succulent, but the rest of them have dried out. Now, all I had to do was keep the succulent in one place and not move around. Whenever you have a situation like this, I tend to see the moment there is one leaf drying out or the second leaf drying out, people start moving their pot in and out or here and there. That is not going to work out, guys. When your succulent is getting settled down in the new environment or when it is getting acclimated, do not move your succulent quite often because that will again hamper the health and the growth of succulent. The succulent that is trying to settle in the new environment will get disturbed, and then there could be more problems. So whenever you have a case like this, first of all, find a place where you are going to permanently keep your succulent. Once you keep your succulent there, just do a visual check. Do not try and move around the succulent quite often because that again tends to affect the succulent. Now another important thing that I wanted to point out over here is I haven't watered this succulent for quite some time because there is a reason. As you can see, all of the leaves are closing inwards, but there are no wrinkles present on the succulent. Now because this is a variety of Echeveria, I'm not very sure about the exact ID, but it is a genus of Echeveria. Now please don't quote me on this. I'm just trying to speculate because some time back I had watered this succulent, but it still hasn't opened up. Plus I had not seen any wrinkles, so my speculations are that this succulent might be dormant at this period because There are no wrinkles present on the leaves, and the leaves are all closed inwards. Now obviously the roots are very healthy because the succulent has not put out any signs of dehydration. Apart from that, the soil is very loose and porous. But a lot of times if the succulent is dormant, even after watering, the succulent does not tend to open up. And that's exactly what's happening with this succulent. Again, I'm not very sure. I am just speculating it. Probably it is dormant because I don't see any signs of wrinkles on it, yet all of the leaves are closed inwards. Right now the soil is almost dry, but I'm not going to be watering it. I will wait for some more time. Whenever you are confused about watering, always wait. Look out for the signs of wrinkles. If I happen to see any wrinkles on the leaves, I will definitely go ahead and water it. Right now, it is not giving me any vibes that it is thirsty, so I am not going to be watering it right now. So this is how, guys, it can be a little bit tricky with succulents. It's all about experience, and it's all about doing a visual check. Just by looking at the succulent itself, the succulent is going to give you a lot of signs. So don't be worried if you tend to see 1 or 2 dry leaves, or probably 2 or 3 dry leaves. Do not panic. Do not keep moving your succulent every now and then. It is not very good for succulents. In fact, it's not good for any plant. Plants do not like to be tossed around every now and then. So please be very careful, especially with succulents. They do not like to be tossed around. They do not like to be moved around quite often. So that's all about it. Also, now that I have pulled out the dry leaves, even though the leaves are very crisp, I will still not go ahead and water it. Not because the succulent is not thirsty, but because I have just pulled out the dry leaves. So I will wait for a couple of days. In this case, I will wait for the wrinkles to show up because I'm a little bit confused whether this succulent is dormant or not. Probably it could be because it's kind of winters and it's an Haworthia variety, so we can't say much. So the best thing what I can do is just wait for the succulent to give me some signs of dehydration, and only then I will go ahead and water it. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.